On point tonight, how Elon Musk became an awful, horrible threat to humanity that must be stopped at all costs. It sounds weird, right? Just think about it from Elon's perspective. First, Elon started PayPal. And who can get upset about that? It allowed us to buy stuff on eBay. We all love PayPal. The New York Times loved him back then. Next came Tesla. The New York Times then really loved him, the visionary ready to save the planet with electric cars that drove themselves. Not liking Tesla, Elon, is like, I don't know, almost like not liking puppies. Then came SpaceX. He did what NASA couldn't do and returned Americans to space on American rockets, the South African bringing America back to space. So it was not PayPal. It was not Tesla. It was not SpaceX. Everybody loved Elon back then. Then he decided to buy Twitter. And now Musk must be stopped at all costs. He will, in so many people's view, ruin humanity. Think about that for a second. How does Elon go from hero to hated? Kind of reminds you of Donald Trump. Remember when the Clintons went to Trump's third wedding? Everybody was all yucking it up. Oh, those were the days. Back then, he was just the Donald. The left and right loved his over-the-top self-promoter persona. Of course, he said outrageous things, but he rated well on TV. He wrote The Art of the Deal, got invited to all the right parties. He threw amazing parties. And then, of course, he was the guy from The Apprentice. You couldn't not love Trump back then. Nobody cared that he lied about his net worth over and over and left 2 wives for the next one. He was the Donald. Emphasis, he threw great parties. Then he ran for president, and suddenly all the people who loved Trump hated him. This threat to democracy must be stopped. He ruined all of our institutions. Trump and Elon committed the very same crime. They challenged the exclusive playgrounds of the permanent political class. Twitter is the exclusive zone of conversation for the permanent political class. Same with running for president. Both men threatened to expose that the emperor really has no clothes. Think about Trump. Trump ignored the rules that journalists and politicians use to keep everybody in line. You couldn't call people names. You couldn't be mean to John McCain. You couldn't talk about building a wall. You couldn't talk about grabbing women. All of the things the political ruling class said wouldn't work, Trump did. Then he won. He destroyed their control of the political system. This isn't partisan. Republican political elite hate Trump maybe even more than the Democrats do. He threatens the Republican elite the most. Same thing with Musk. He ignores the rules journalists and politicians use to control the narratives they like. They talk about loving free speech for everything but the Hunter Biden laptop story. The president of the United States, they said, must be banned from Twitter. You can't say COVID came from a lab because that would agree with the guy who needs to be banned. Musk says that Twitter should be what Twitter says it is, emphasis says it is, the town square. Not just the town square for the ideas certain journalists approve of. Musk told workers, get in line or get out. From the New York Times, resignations roil Twitter as Elon Musk tries persuading some workers to stay. Mr. Musk, Twitter's new owner, had given employees a Thursday deadline to decide whether to leave or to build a breakthrough Twitter 2.0. How dare he speak like that? Allegedly, hundreds quit. Maybe even 1,000 refused the ultimatum. Now there are fears that Twitter might shut down because so many engineers left. Who is going to run the tweet farm? The company says this could, well, the company doesn't say this. Some say, well, if you watch cable news, many say, this could constitute a national emergency.
Twitter is really in an ever-quickening death spiral.
We're going to turn now to the chaotic situation at Twitter.
Yeah, look, there aren't a lot of people left at this website.
I mean, that will be a major disruption to the flow of information.
How long can we keep using it as a legitimate source?
He came in with a wrecking ball. I mean, I was thinking about Genghis Khan.
Think about it this way, though. We could have replaced that meltdown on cable news and on network news with any one of 100 things that Trump talked about. Think about that. The horror, though, of Twitter shutting down. Reporters, wannabe pundits, Substack writers, activists, baristas, and trolls will have nothing to do this weekend. That might be called progress. Perhaps they will get a real job or produce something of value rather than just snipe at each other. That reality is terrifying, though, to America's permanent political class. And maybe, just maybe, anything that terrifies the permanent political class is a good thing. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.